The CEO of Nissan says the company has many problems. He believes the solution to this is to shuffle the deck chairs on the Titanic and Americanize the company, make it more American. This plan, in my opinion, is so wacky, it's just mind-bogglingly baffling, and I can't understand why the CEO thinks this is a good solution. Nissan is shifting the deck chairs on the Titanic. You know, the Titanic's going down. We'll just move the chairs around and hopefully it won't sink. However, experts at Automotive News believe that, they believe what I've been saying for years now. Nissan are basically dead in the water. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. And thank you if you're a YouTube member of the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate your support. I'll put a link in the description to our YouTube membership page. It's been reported within the past 24 hours that, Nissan are moving things around. They've got rid of their CFO. They've hired a new guy who was the CFO of Jeep. Genius, right? Yeah, that's a great idea. Look how well Jeep are doing. Anyhow, a few other people have been shifted around, moved around, fired, and promoted other people. But is this enough to save a company that on its own admission has 12 to 14 months to survive unless it finds a big investor to essentially bail it out? Nissan is so big. This is not a simple company to just take over and say, yeah, okay, great, we've got money, we're going to save you. This is a complex organization with a hierarchy, with a Japanese way of doing things, which is quite different. It has a situation where, to be honest, most Japanese companies, this is very well known in Japan. You don't usually move up the ranks because of merit. If you work hard and you're more innovative and you come up with new ideas, that doesn't mean you'll be promoted and become, a director or a manager. It's more about seniority. How long have you been working at that company? I've been here 27 years. Well, you're the manager. That's how things work in many Japanese companies. This is not a situation that would be, not the Chinese way. This is not really the Chinese way of doing things. They work fast, they're innovative, and they move really much in a way that's very different to the Japanese norms. As Nissan fights for survival, it has announced several new appointments to its leadership team. Basically, every deck on the team has been changed except the CEO. They're hoping this will enable it to succeed. For starters, outgoing Nissan Chief Financial Officer Stephen Ma will leave his post. They're moving him to some random role. Apparently he's going to save the business in China or something. The CFO. Anyway, he's going to be responsible for Nissan's future strategy in China. Replacing Ma as Chief Financial Officer will be Jeremy Papin, who is currently the chairperson of the Management Committee for Americas. Stepping up to fill Papin's vacant position as chairperson of the Management Committee for Americas is Christian Munir. Guys, this is going to bore you to death. Basically, every executive is being moved, shifted around. The CEO thinks just by shifting around the deck chairs on the Titanic, somehow that's going to plug the holes that are in the bottom of the ship. I just don't see how that makes any sense at all. So when are these changes being made? Well, many changes have been made, but they will be official on the 1st of January 2025. Nissan says this is what they're doing. We are creating a lean, flat structure that can respond flexibly and quickly to changes in the business environment. What is the problem here? Well, Nissan has declining sales in its key global markets. Last year, it sold 834,000 vehicles in the United States, 300,000 less than a decade ago. In a similar situation in China. Probably worse because in China, things are in decline interminably. And there's really nothing Nissan can do about this. Automotive News says that according to their research and data center, more than a quarter of Nissan division's US market share has evaporated over the past 5 years, tumbling to 5.6% in the first 9 months of 2024. The brand's 1,070 US dealerships average profitability nosedived in the first half of 2024 to the lowest level in several decades. More executive changes globally are expected as Nissan's rapidly deteriorating financial health has drawn looks from activist investors and strategic buyers. Jeremy Papin, the Nissan America's chairperson who presided over the sales slump, will move to Nissan's Yokohama, Japan headquarters to succeed Stephen Ma as the global CFO. So in other words, the guy who's in charge of the sales slump in America will be the CFO of the company. I don't know why they think that that's a good strategy. And here's the thing. This didn't have to be this way. After helping pioneer development of the mass market electric vehicle with its introduction of the Nissan Leaf in 2010, which was great for its time, Nissan and its premium Infiniti brand were unable to compete as consumer preferences in the US shifted and, well, customers wanted better EVs, ones that didn't have batteries that would die because they didn't have proper thermal management. And Nissan's ongoing issues can't simply be fixed by adding hybrids to the lineup as it thinks it can. Keep in mind, Nissan has a lot of debt. It has to pay a debt repayment of around $7 billion in 12 to 14 months, and that's the problem. How are they going to get that money considering they lost money over the last 3 quarters of last year? Nissan is closing factories all over the world. It has closed factories in numerous countries. I've reported on those countries in other videos. I'm not going to bore you to death with all those places, but we know there's one in Thailand, there's another one in China. I believe there's 2 in China now. A factory that Nissan used to own in Spain is now a BYD factory. Anyhow, these struggles could be even worse for Nissan's sub-brand Infiniti, whose market share in the US dropped from 6% in 2019 to just 2.8% through the first 3 quarters of this year. It's lost well over 50% of its market share. Nissan is letting some of its 197 Infiniti retailers in the US co-locate with Nissan dealerships in an effort to help the luxury brand survive. But if they do choose to co-locate and save money by moving into a Nissan dealership, there are so many rules and regulations that it will be extremely restrictive for these Infiniti dealers to even operate. Automotive News says this: Nissan and Infiniti dealers need a factory partner that is not just trying to survive, but that can help them grow and invest in their own businesses with profitable product that can compete in the US market. That will require both resources and creativity on Munir's part, and it will be worthwhile because the price of failure may be catastrophic. Automotive News said this in their headline: in our opinion, no quick fix for Nissan. Infiniti woes. How do you solve the problems at a company where their debt is rated junk? They're the only major automaker in the world whose debt is rated a junk. And that means their interest rates on repayments are higher than rivals. You can see why they're making a loss. It's not just falling sales, margins have declined rapidly. Honestly, here's the thing. Go to China. Have a look at the electric cars there. Have a look at the technology they have there. Have a look at how fast they're innovating. Customers are even complaining. They believe that Chinese automakers are innovating so fast. It's sort of unfair. They can't keep up. But that is actually a positive. That is not something that Nissan does. They do not. Tell me what is technologically impressive about any of their products. Nissan is hoping that their solid-state batteries will bail the company out. They say that by 2026, they'll have solid-state batteries in their vehicles. But no investors have ever seen these solid-state batteries. We don't know what technology they use. We don't know anything about their pre-production tests of these batteries. No cars have been heard of with these batteries already in them and testing or anything like that. There's been nothing at all. So in my opinion, Nissan solid-state batteries are purely fantasy, unless they were to purchase them from someone else. But that wouldn't really mean they had any special technology that would help them have any kind of real advantage over their rivals. At this point in time, in my opinion, there just isn't a way out. Now, I was on an airplane yesterday, flying back from Perth, and somebody said to me, they said, which is the next company to go bankrupt? What do you guys think? Do you agree with me that Nissan is pretty much... Do you think that Nissan can plug the holes in the Titanic, or is the ship doomed to sink?